Like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, hit the bell icon. Go ahead, hit that one right there. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? What up with it? You know what I'm saying? Supreme Beats Box of Talk. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Cadillac Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my brother,
Dude Shizzle.
You know what I'm saying? And we got a very special guest. You know what I'm saying? I am honored to have him on the show. You know what I'm saying? Freeway Rick Ross. No, not that one. Don't do that. Don't do that. We talking about the real, not the fake. You know what I'm saying? Not the CO. We talking about the inmate. You know what I'm saying? OG, what's happening with you?
Oh man, just working hard, man.
I hear that, man. I hear that, man. I hear you making moves. You know what I'm saying? While we setting up, I hear you making moves, man.
I got to. I had to learn how to do a setting up. Well, you know, I did a setting up in prison, so I was thinking, I was sitting here and I was like, wow, in prison you didn't have a computer, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have a three-way phone call. They only allowed you to work with 300 minutes a month, and you was able to work with that. Why can't you work sitting here from your house? So,
absolutely.
Now I'm sitting in this condo, 3-bedroom condo overlooking the city, and I said I can't make nothing happen from there. There's something wrong with me, so I went to work.
Okay.
I went to work.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You are every Dope Boys legend or whatnot. So I want to start off with it from off jump. This has got to be a hell of a life and a hell of a journey, saying that you only wanted $5,000 for some rims for a car, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you must have read my story.
you know, I did. Like I said, man, I'm allegedly an ex-dope boy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too big, but you know, of course, I'm gonna know the history of the OG. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was a victim of the Jim Crow, scenario. Not wanting much out of life. Being satisfied. I thought I would be satisfied living in my mama's garage. For the rest of my life, and $5,000 would have set me right, would have put some wheels on my car. I could have got my car painted. I didn't want much. I was a simple boy, like most of us, never had no dreams, really, It's funny, they say once you take somebody's language, you squash their dreams, and I think that's what's happening to us here in America as black people. Our dreams have been squashed and squandered, and we just don't dream no more. We just follow the herd, whatever. Mr. Charlie say do. That's what we do.
Right.
And not directly, because he don't tell us it directly. Because if he told us directly, because we rebels. Yeah. We rebels against the system, but they don't do it directly. They do it suddenly. They pick. Well, back in the day, they called him a house nigga, and I try not to use that term, but they called him a house nigga, and they give him, all the bread and the rice and the beans, and then he pass it out to all the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Reading your story and listening to you talk about your story, it's a couple things that I feel like was like divine intervention that helped you out, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about it. You had a chop shop, and in the chop shop, like you said, you wanted some rims for the lowrider, so you had like the flash with you. But after the incident with the chop shop and the feds running in there, you stopped. You say you crushed your lowrider and you stopped wanting to be flashy.
Yeah, I wanted to kill that mentality.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll talk about that, because what I found out is that mentality kept me broke. Even though I made good money every night. I mean, here I am, 18 years old, had never had nothing in my life. I probably had never saw $300 before. And now, here I am stealing cars every night, making $300-400 a night, but I got nothing to show for it. But the chrome up under the car and hydraulic pumps and some dirty jeans. So when they raided me and I was sitting in that jail cell and I thought about, what I've been doing, like I put myself on this hamster wheel where I was literally going around in circles, and not really going anywhere. So when I started selling drugs, I said I wasn't gonna put myself in that same scenario.
Okay. There's something else that you said too that I thought was influential in you becoming the OG that you are, and that's tennis and critical thinking. You didn't I don't really hear too much you saying you played football or basketball like everyone else in the hood. You went the Arthur Ashe route and decided to play tennis. And
I played basketball and football. You know,
okay.
I was an athlete. I was pretty quick.
Okay.
You know, but I wasn't big enough. You know, in like the 9th grade, it became clear to me that I was gonna have it hard. You know, in high school football because of my size.
Okay.
You know, at that time my power was only like 5'2", so you know I was a little bitty dude, and they was looking at all big dudes. You know, they wasn't really paying attention to little dudes.
Okay.
And then I liked to play quarterback too, so that made it even harder. So it became apparent to me that I better stick with tennis instead of trying to chase football or basketball.
Yeah, 5'2", trying to play quarterback. You got a death sentence out there in the LA streets. What's wrong with you? Come on, man. Okay,
man, I was too little.
But you playing tennis. I heard you say something that's like it's like you have to think like 30,000 steps, or you could be in no man's land out there. Talk to me. Like I said, tell me about how that developed your critical thinking.
More than that, man. I went to a tennis camp. I took my kids to a tennis camp up at UCLA because I still keep contact with my friends that I played tennis with in high school.
Okay.
I helped them go on circuit when they turned pros. You know, I helped them get out there. You know, even though I had gave up my dream, I didn't give up on their dreams. You know, their dream was to still be pro, and my dream and their dream was the same. You know, was to see us out there together. So even though that I wasn't gonna be there, you know, I still wanted to push them the best that I could. You know, even though I could have did better for them, but they never told me that they wanted me to do better. But anyway, they helped me now. I got two babies that I'm raising right now, tennis players, possibly. You know, according to how long they want to play. So I work with my friends who went on the circuit, who got more experience out of tennis than I did. They are the real coaches. I coach, but, you know, I can't coach like they do. So one of them invited me to UCLA one day to a camp where the assistant coach at UCLA, who was a brother, was giving a speech about critical thinking. And during that speech, he said that when you play one tennis match, you make over 60,000 decisions inside of that one match, and you're making those decisions on the fly. So I credit that with some of my ability to be able to do critical thinking, to be able to recognize opportunities when other people are hesitant on making those decisions.
Okay. Now, I heard a story from somebody that worked from you, and they said back in the day they robbed one of your spots. They didn't know it was you, but they wound up robbing one of your spots. After they robbed it, they said you jumped out on them. It was a halfway flex, but you told them they didn't have to rob you. You could put them on and they could make money, and they don't have to be out here doing those types of things in the neighborhood. From that point on, they wound up making a lot of money underneath you. Talk to me about your approach of not being violent in the hood. And
well, you know, when I first started selling cocaine, you know, I realized that it had supposed to have been a lot of violence behind it. And one of the things that I had made a commitment to myself and my partner is that we wasn't going to kill anybody over money. You know, money was not my God. You know, a lot of people, they make money their God. And money is not my God, even though people might think it is because I'm always making it.
Right. Yeah.
But my kick is making the money, not treasure having it. You know, I enjoy just making it, you know, being in the mix where money is being generated, and so many other people, they fall in love with the money. You know, they like to have the money, they like to hold on to it, and I guess worship it.
Okay. So let me ask you about this one. Blandon. Blandon was, in my opinion, in looking at the story, he was a snake. It was kind of like a
Absolutely.
setup. It was kind of like a setup.
Not kind of like a setup. A setup.
Well, not. What I'm saying is, what I wanted to ask you when it come with that is, do you think that if you would have stayed with what was the connect before, his brother? And you said his brother was lazy. If you would have stayed with him being lazy, would have been a better option for you, other than dealing with Blandon, you think?
You know what? When you're in the dope game, man, everything is good. You know, snitching, snakes, cross artists, robbers, jackers, crooked police, you know, dirty girlfriends. I mean, all that go with that game, man. It's just like, it's a game that it's too hard to play.
Don't love
you know, it's too many traps. What my man say, it don't love nobody.
Yeah,
and that's the way I look at the game. It don't matter if I would have stayed with Henry or if it would have been Paul or Jack or Jim. Okay. You know, somebody in that game is gonna cross you out. The longer you stay in the game, the better chance it is that somebody is gonna cross you.
All right, and my last questions about the game, you know what I'm saying, in the whole was, I heard someone say that what happened to you happened because you didn't have enough backing from someone in a higher place than what you did. Do you think that would have been a better way for you? Is that a true statement, or how do you feel about that statement?
I just don't see nobody making cocaine work. You know, I just don't see. After I did a lot of studying and you know, one of my favorite books is As a Man Think, and it says that you can't make stupidity good. They just don't go together. You know, now you could try and you twist it and you turn it and you flip it and you roll it over and you throw it up in the air, and it's still gonna be stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, it's still with cocaine. It's still somebody's gonna hurt. You can have all the great intentions and all that, but you're still selling cocaine.
Yeah.
You're still fucking people up, and if you fuck other people up, I mean, life is like a boomerang. What you throw out is what you get back.
Absolutely.
You know, you throw that shit out, and that shit gonna come right back in your face some kind of way. It may not come back from the person you threw it at, but somebody is going to come back to you. So, you know, they say karma is a mother. So, you know, I understand now that cocaine was probably the worst thing that I ever did before in my life. The worst mistake I ever made. That was when I went right that day. I should have been going left.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and even though that's you know how I got known, and that's I was going to be known and famous. If I put that same kind of effort that I put in the cocaine, I was going to be flipping fries at McDonald's, and the next thing I would have owned the McDonald's and the next thing I would have owned 50 of them. Because, see, I didn't take the money out the game. I didn't care about the money. I just like to flip fries. So they couldn't stop me from flipping. I was going to be flipping fries all day. The manager would have been like, man, when you going to go home?
Yeah, that's real. Okay, so let's talk about your transition from jail. Coming home, you say you didn't really have nothing. You staying back at home, broke. What was your first venture coming home?
I started a trucking company. That my goal was to get up to 100 trucks, but my crew, who was working with me, who slept on my couch, who I believe had my back when I first started. They flipped on me. You know, they couldn't understand my philosophy about doing business. You know, they couldn't understand how we had 5 trucks, and you know we had days, weeks where one truck was bringing $8,000 profit. You know, why wasn't I buying cars? Why wasn't I buying clothes? And why didn't I allow them to go out and buy girls' cars? You know, why was I kept putting everything back into another truck? You know, why when those trucks did it, why did I go buy another truck? And they couldn't understand it. So that was my first venture was trucking business. I started with a $4,500 truck, and before the guys started wrecking my trucks, I had 5 trucks. I didn't have them all on the road at the same time because, you know, I still have money issues, you know, like getting the truck registered, buying new tires for it. Because, you know, if you put one of those diesels on the road, you got to have new tires on them. Highway patrols don't want them out there with bad tires. So, you know, just doing the little things to get them out. But I had 5 trucks in my possession that was registered to me. And the way I was looking at it is, shoot, if I ever have a week where all 5 trucks roll and bring in $8,000 in 1 week, so I'm rich again. You know, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I also had a 758 FICO score. You know, from doing. I built my credit while I was in prison. But while I was in prison, I was working. I didn't come out here without a plan. I had a plan.
Hold on. You can't speak by that. You said you worked on your credit while you was in prison?
Yeah, we need you to explain how you did that.
Yeah, you got to break that down. You can't just,
For the brothers that's in there.
Well, what I did is I did a lot of thinking. Like when I owned my apartments and stuff like that, I used to let my mom collect all the rents. They were Section 8s, and she would just take the money and put it in the bank. Okay. And so the bankers used to tell her, "Where's your son? We want to meet your son." And I would never go meet with them. I'm like, I don't want to meet them motherfuckers. What they want to do? And then she was telling me, oh, they want to talk to you about loaning you some money. And I'm like, I don't need no money. I got money problems. I don't know where to put all this shit. You know, that's my problem now. I got money in the trunks of cars and in closets and houses. I don't need no money. But what I ain't understanding is that they talking about loaning me the kind of money I could put back into the bank. I could put into the system that I didn't have to hide. Right. And I never caught on to that. So when I go to prison, I'm thinking about, wow, what if I would have took them loans? You know, what if I would have went to the bank and borrowed $1 million that I could have went and started building apartment buildings without dope money?
Right.
What would have happened? And so I started reading books about real estate and so forth, and they talked about the things that I already had going, but I didn't realize I had going. Mm-hmm. Right. So one of the things that they talked about in there was having good credit. That if you had good credit, that you could just go to the bank and borrow the money. And say, for instance, like I used to build apartments sometimes, and I would make $150,000 profit. You know, just from building. As soon as I finished with it, I could sell it for make $150,000. So I had these older black contractors who allowed me to use their license, and they was teaching me, you know, money buy you game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, money buy you game. So when you got some money, people don't mind sharing their knowledge with you, letting you use their license, or so forth. So I started using these guys' licenses, and then when I got to prison, I started reading those books, and they talked about having good credit or great credit, and I just started working on it. I ordered books on how to build your credit, how to fix your credit. I used to fix people's credit from prison. There was a lot of people that I fixed their credit. You know, I wrote the letters to the credit bureaus for them, in the whole 9 yards. So I did my own. And when I fixed some of theirs, they would allow me to piggyback on their credit. They would put me on their credit card. So when I got out, I had a 758. But the only thing is when I got out, I got out in the middle of the 09 recession. You know, the banks wasn't loaning money. They wasn't doing nothing at that time. So it was kind of like a little setback for me.
Okay. Let me ask you this. You but right before you went in, you had the hotel business going on. You was about to be the hood Trump on the creek, and didn't nobody know. And you went in. When you came out, were you able to get the hotels back, or what happened with that?
No, I lost everything when I went to prison. When I got out of prison, I had $200 to my name, and that was money that I had made from prison. You know, nobody really sent me money while I was in prison. Only a couple of my boys, you know, had saw moms, you know, somewhere at the grocery store or something, would hand her some bucks. But I went all the way broke in prison. You know, when I first went, my telephone bill used to be like $8,000 a month. 'Cause They had put me in a single cell. I'd never been to prison before. I'd never been to jail before. And they put me in the cell, and they put a telephone in there. And you know, I didn't care how much the minutes was, how much the phone was a minute. You know, I've been used to spending as much money as I wanted whenever I wanted to, so I just laid on the phone.
Hey, yo, from somebody that's been there, I'm laughing because, yo, you said they put you in there by yourself with a phone, and you wrong, man, shit.
Yeah, I laid on
I
the
knew
phone,
you burnt that thing out.
Man, I was in jail, girl watching, keeping them in check.
And see, this before like cell phones and all that stuff hit the joint and all that other crazy stuff. So you talk about back then, man. Who idea was it to put you in the room with a phone? Come on.
All of us was in. Everybody that was in high power had rooms, single rooms with a cell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, burning that thing up. I already know it. Okay, so after all these business,
You ever kept a girl in check from the jailhouse?
I mean, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you know, allegedly. Hold on, allegedly.
You call them at 6 in the morning and 12 at night and all during the day. Who over there? Who you with?
Yeah. I know. I remember those days though. I definitely can't say I remember those days. So now you got your businesses together. Why boxing? Why did you choose boxing?
Well, I chose boxing for a few reasons. You know, I was in Caesar's Palace one time, and I can't remember who it was fighting, and Don King walked up, and all the D-boys from L.A., you know, we was all having breakfast together, and Don walked up, and he shook everybody's hand at that table. And when I was sitting in prison, I was like, damn, what would have happened to you if you'd have got up and told Don King you had $3 million right then? Would he let you go with him? Mm-hmm. And I didn't do it, and I regretted it. You know, I feel like had I done that, I would be the king of boxing right now. And then, you know, when I got out, Floyd Mayweather had picked me up when I got out the halfway house.
Yeah. I was going to ask you to elaborate on that for me. Go ahead and elaborate on that.
So I thought Floyd knew, you know, had read my mind. You know, I knew that I was one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walked the planet. Hey, because I ain't no joke. I don't play with them, you know. Yeah. I don't love their money. I do not worship your money. I don't want your money. I just want to be great.
That's why you a mom.
And see, it's different. It's different when you can walk away from their money. See, the week I got out of prison, I went to probably the 5 most powerful guys in Hollywood. I had a meeting in their office, and they offered me a deal, and I turned that deal down. I didn't take it for none of them. They all put money on the table, and they couldn't understand. You know, my mom was losing her house, and that meant we were all going to be homeless. But I felt that it was better for us to be homeless than for me to sell my story to people who really didn't appreciate it and didn't know the story. They were only interested in doing my story because of the people who brought me to their office. They didn't respect my mind. They didn't know who they was talking to.
Queen Beast Boxing Talk. Episodes drop every Tuesday at 4:15. Jump in the live chat with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as throughout the week we keep the content coming. With sparring sessions with Lack and KG. Interviews though. Undercard Underrated with Deuce Shizzle. And more. And remember, support is important.